Everyone and welcome. We are Team 11 and this is our presentation of the Messenger app for our Sprint 1 milestone. I'm joined today by my team members, Han, Fabian, and Zamba, and my name is Tu. For this sprint, our primary objective was to engineer a fast, secure, and real-time messaging pipeline using a modern framework built on Node.js, Express, and Stock.io. So let's start right here with the user login page. Our system have a strict input validation rules, so a username cannot be empty and must be between 3 and 20 characters long. So as you can see, if I try to have something invalid, the system will catch it immediately and throw a warning flag. So if I have something like correct username and click join chat, the application handle the transition directly into our live communication chat bot with no refresh needed. And so now we're inside a main dashboard. I will demonstrate our public chat channel. So notice here at the top, so we have like a server status message. So the moment a user connect or leave, a server status message is pushed globally to inform everyone exactly who joined or left. And we also have an update real-time user count. Similarly, when I type a text message and send it, the socket.io broadcasts the message to every single connected user across the network. So both the text message and the status is rendered inside the chat box instantly without like needed to reload the page. And we also have the timestamp right next to the message and the username. These provide a clean context for the conversation. And with that, I will hand it over to our next speaker.
We have all the connected users list here. We have 4 users as of now, and there is a search bar. We can search users by typing the name. Let's see, I want to search for Johnny. So Johnny is here, and I can chat with Johnny using the private message section. And then we have the objection, the raise bit angry, and the happy chat interruption button. And when we press on one of these, the both side will see the interruption that the user pressed. Let's do the raise bit for now. As you can see, it's on the both sides, so both the user can see um, any raise bit options that the other user pressed. That's all about user list, search bar, and chat interruption feature.
Hi, I'm Tan, and now I will demonstrate the private chat functionality. Say there's a two-user log in the chat, Tan and Fabi. In here, it will create the user list, getting when emitting the user list from the server. The client will get it and make a list, creating the thread for each connected user. And now, when I want to chat with Fabi, when I type a message on the Fabi side, there is appearing the Tan is typing indicator, and when I send it, it will both appear in both client side on Fabi side and on my side. And when Fabi is disconnected, it will say on my side is that Fabi is disconnected. And when and is trying to send a message again, it will simply say message not delivered, the user not online. So the code for it is that when the server is connected, it will emit the full user here, and the server will handle creating the user list as well as create a thread for each user, and then it will handle the sending function side, and then the server side will get it, creating a payload containing sender, recipient, message, and timestamp, sending to both recipient and emit to the sender side. And the function display message will handle the display message. It will handle emitting the message to the sender side and also to the recipient side. And here's the helper function, and then the private typing. So the private typing in the server, and then this is also a helper function to get a create thread or show thread. And this is the private status, which will handle the disconnected thing. And that will be all. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Fabian, and I'll be going over the typing indicator, our security measures we took for this sprint, and our sprint retrospect. So, first off, our typing indicator, you can see here, if someone's typing, it'll just show their name and is typing. It will also disappear after a few seconds if the user does not type, as well as if the user sends the message. if multiple people are typing, you'll see that list starts adding up until you have 4 people. And if you have 5 people typing at a time, it'll just show multiple people are typing, so that list doesn't just keep adding on forever. If we look behind the scenes on how that works, you'll see that the server is keeping track of the users that are typing and broadcasting, how many people are typing, their usernames, and then the client side receives that message and reveals that container which has the typing indicator. So moving on to the security measures we took for this sprint, we added a content security policy header. So this adds a browser level defense in depth, which makes sure that no unsafe scripts are running, as well as tell the client which scripts that we're going to be using. So one of these scripts we use is DOM Purify. So whenever a user is inputting data, we want to make sure that they're not injecting any JavaScript in there and potentially poisoning our input. So we use this command which makes sure that, or this function that makes sure that that input is sanitized and well. So moving on to the sprint retrospect, in general, we improved on our timeline planning, though sometimes we missed out on time management. So once we had our timeline set, everyone got their tasks done on time. However, making sure we get that timeline planning out to begin with is the important part. So to improve on that, we should plan out a meeting and make sure we have both our timeline and tasks set up at the start of the week. Something else we did for this sprint, we did well, is our use of our dev tools. So for example, Git, a lot of people had their first introduction to Git on our last sprint, and it was a lot to learn. So this sprint, everyone was more familiarized, which helped us all work simultaneously on the app. We also had a good collaboration and distribution of tasks, which was helpful in making sure everyone had a good workload. One last thing that could have been better is our usage of Socket.io. So we got introduced to Socket.io and we weren't very familiar with it. So something we could do with that is read more documentation.